The Saints have had to deal with a loss.
Haven't had a Monday like this in a while. For the first time in nearly 2 months, the Saints had to reflect on the darkness of a loss rather than bask in the glow of a victory. Like everyone else, the Saints had seen the Ravens wilt under the second-half onslaught by the Texans a week ago, and Baltimore's history of second-half miseries was well documented. The Saints wanted to elevate the tempo offensively and see if the same attrition might not affect the Ravens yesterday. But Sean Payton said today that circumstances prevented them doing so as much as they desired.
You know, we wanted this game to be an up-tempo game. We wanted to make this a game that was a back-and-forth game played as opposed to that ball control. We wanted this game to have a lot of snaps in it, and so we got some of that, but not enough of it offensively.
On the injury front, special teams ace Courtney Roby has been cleared to return to action following last week's concussion. On the knee injury that Jabari Greer suffered yesterday, Payton would only say that tests were negative on it. The NBA Board of Governors, as expected, approved the league buying the New Orleans franchise as it looks for new ownership. As the Hornets move on with their road trip to Indiana tonight, they do so without guard Willie Green. Green returned to Detroit to deal with his grief and the grief of his family. The guard's sister and cousin had come to the game last night to watch Willie score 11 points in a 111-108 overtime loss to the Pistons. Driving home from the game, their SUV left the interstate and slammed roof first into a tree. Both his sister Tamara and cousin Ben Green were killed in the crash. There are disappointing losses and there are disastrous losses. Yesterday, the Saints suffered a disappointing one. Yesterday, the Giants, Bucks, and to a lesser degree, the Rams all suffered disastrous ones. The Giants, playing at home, blow a 21-point lead in the final 7.5 minutes to lose to the Eagles. The Bucks, playing at home, lose to Detroit in overtime, the Lions' first road win in 3 years. And the Rams, playing at home, lose to the Chiefs and a quarterback who had a body part extracted 11 days before. If you're the #1 wild card, as the Saints currently are, St. Louis is just where you want to go for your first playoff game. Only in the NFC West can you find a 6-8 football team leading its division, trying to fend off another 6-8 football team in the Seahawks, who have dropped 6 of 8 and have a quarterback controversy. St. Louis, short road trip, Dome Stadium, dominated by the Saints 2 games ago, a 4-3 defense against whom the Saints were 11 of 16, 69% in third down conversions. Yesterday, the Saints converted 38% of their third downs against the Ravens. The Saints converted 35% of their third downs this season against the AFC North, 3/4 of whom play a 3-4 defense. The Saints have converted 55% of their third downs against their other opponents. The Ravens are now 12-2 in Baltimore all-time against NFC teams that play home games indoors and have won 6 straight of those. The winning recipe is a simple one: run the football, take care of the football. The black-clad Ravens ran for 208 yards. The white-clad Saints ran for 27. The Saints simply didn't put enough white on Rice, as Ray Rice gashed them for 153 yards rushing. Take care of the football. The Saints fumbled 3 times and were lucky to lose just 1. They were intercepted once. The Ravens never fumbled and never came close to throwing an interception. In his last 9 games, Joe Flacco has thrown 18 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. Yesterday, his top 3 wide receivers each had 1 catch. In Baltimore in December with that defense, that's often good enough. Overall, the Ravens are 6-1 at home this season, the only loss coming against Pittsburgh by 3 points. The Saints yesterday were not outclassed, but they were outscored. They were beaten by a better team at a time and a place where that team plays its best. You don't have to like it, but you do have to accept it for what it is: a disappointing loss. Hardly a disastrous one. Look around the NFL yesterday and you can see the difference. Bradley Handwerger and myself, WWL-TV.com, web chat coming up at 6:30.